Welcome back to Bernama today, and as promised, we have a very special guest in the studio to talk about juvenile myopia. We have Han in the studio. Thank you so much for coming to Bernama today. Well, my first question is, how could you give a little background about yourself?
Alright, my name is Han. I'm a trained optometrist from UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved in being practicing as an optometrist?
Alright, it's actually a bit of influence from my family and my friends, and for me it's like I always wanted to be a businesswoman.
Okay.
So being an optometrist, I could be a professional as well as a businesswoman at the same time, and as well as to raise awareness of eye health in Malaysia.
That's right, and today we're speaking about juvenile myopia. So can you just tell me, perhaps tell our viewers as well, what is juvenile myopia?
Alright, I'll just talk a little bit about myopia first. Myopia is a condition whereby the image fall before your retina. That's why it casts a blurry vision to your eye. So this juvenile myopia is actually an onset that happened to this usually kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say kids, perhaps how old are they?
It could be as young as 5 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. Yeah.
And this is prevalent among youth in Asia?
Yes, it is. In fact, it is. It's pretty common in certain countries in Asia.
And why is that so?
Okay, now according to study, myopia is more prevalent among Chinese community.
Okay.
And they have a lot of studies in Singapore, and in Singapore there's more than 80% of those kids 15 years old and below with myopia. And it is believed to be related to the level of education and the lifestyle.
Could it be that they are actually looking at the textbook for so long, or even now with technology, they're looking for iPad and computers? Is that one of the causes as well?
Yes, in fact, they are one of the main causes for the kids nowadays. Yeah.
And are there any new developments in the treatment of myopia?
Yeah, there are a few things in the market right now whereby there's a special kind of contact lenses which is called orthokeratology.
Okay.
It is one of the things to actually hopefully to slow down the myopia, as well as there are a few special lenses that developed by different companies to help to slow down the development of myopia too in the market.
So is this contact lenses different than the contact lenses that you can actually get in the different
Yes, it is. This contact lenses can be prescribed by a qualified optometrist only, and it is meant to wear it during the sleep and off the eye during daytime.
And is there any way to actually arrest the development of myopia?
Yes, I would say that in order to arrest the development of myopia, you can either go for specialized kind of contact lenses or glasses.
Okay.
Other than that, I would say parents play a very important role too.
Okay.
And a few ways to for them to care for their children's eye. What you can do is, my advice is, as you mentioned just now, try to cut down the time on the reading as well as the concentration. Try to have breaks in between the concentrate works. Besides that, of course, work-life balance, I would say work-life balance and get a healthy, balanced diet. All these are very important. And
another important question is, perhaps, like we're talking about technology and perhaps iPad and computers. Even young children, I mean young as 2 years old, are actually looking at the iPads and looking at the screen. Is that a good thing as well? And can it develop myopia after some years?
I will say yes or no. Okay. It depends on the duration. As I mentioned before, anything to do with near concentration, parents must make sure that they have short breaks in between, like for instance every 15 minutes, and get their eye to rest and walk away for a cup of drink. So just have a short break and that will be fine.
But you know what, with all the education system right now, that people are actually looking at the textbook, is it actually easy to put that into practice, to actually take a break? Or perhaps some parents will be like, just do your thing, just read your books, or perhaps go on the PC and...
This is a very wrong concept. I always educate the parents that they must do that, because anything to do with the near concentration, that can actually encourage accommodation, which is going to lead to the progression of myopia. So parents must encourage kids to have short breaks in between, and that is going to help a lot. That's going to relax your eye muscle.
Alright, and another research is that, is it true that contact lenses can survive the myopia progression?
Yes, the contact lenses that I mentioned for you before, orthokeratology, that to some extent that it does help to actually slow down the progression of myopia on selected, I would say selected customers.
And how does one get fitted with the contact lenses?
Okay, it's very important if you want to get fitted with contact lenses, go for a qualified optician optometrist. It is a medical device, and so you must have your eye properly checked before you go for contact lenses, because not everyone is suitable for contact lenses.
That's right, because are there any instances where a person just cannot wear contact lenses, and if that's the case, what can they do? What do they have to do?
Yes, they do. There are certain customers that certain patients that cannot wear contact lenses. Those are those with dry eye problems and those with eye diseases like corneal infection and etc. And those that work in a, I would say, dusty environment too. Yeah.
And it's good that you actually mentioned contact lenses, because I actually wear colored contact lenses as well. But you know, of late there have been many young people, you know, perhaps getting it's a trend to wear colored contact lenses, and they are actually getting serious eye infection and problems after purchasing colored contact lenses from flea and perhaps a night market. So what is your advice on that? Okay,
my advice to them, contact lenses is a medical device. So if you want to go for contact lenses, doesn't matter colored or non-colored, you must go for a qualified optician or optometrist to get properly prescribed, because not everyone is suitable, and as well as the product is very important. Get from a reputable company for the contact lenses.
And is it like perhaps is it expensive? Is it a good brand, or what about a cheaper brand? Is it low quality? What about the pricing and stuff?
What do you mean?
In terms of the pricing, perhaps, you know, like sometimes they go for a branded contact lenses. Is it a good brand? And if they go for a slightly cheaper contact lenses brand?
For me, pricing is not the issue. The issue thing is whether it's come from a reputable company, because all these companies are going through the thorough R&D. So they did studies, and because for certain unknown brand that you wouldn't know how they process the contact lenses and whether it's safe for your eye.
And what is your advice for viewers actually wearing contact lenses, not because they have problems with their eyes, but perhaps it's just for more beauty? You know, they want bigger eyes. They want like blue eye.
Well, by all means, go ahead, because I would say contact lenses at the same time as a medical device, it is like an accessory too. You know, you can use it to enhance the look. You can make your eye look bigger, more beautiful, and in different colors. Yes, if you wear it in a proper way, in a correct way, it is okay.
And of course, eyewear has become a fashion accessory in recent times. Do you have any advice for our viewers on how to match frames and perhaps the shape and color of them?
Alright, those days we have rules like, you know, maybe an oval frames, you go with a rectangular squarish face, and the squarish frames you go with a round face. But I would say nowadays it really depends on the fashion, as long as it looks good on your face. And I would say the trend latest color in the market would be like for ladies, you can maybe try for like pink, yellow, purple. All these are the very nice color. And the trend right now, obviously we are still in retro, so you can see people with a big square and a round frame.
And what about, do you have any advice for actually young Malaysians wearing contact lenses? Perhaps is there a certain age that they should actually be wearing contact lenses?
Contact lenses, I would say, usually wouldn't advise those who are too young to wear contact lenses. Obviously would be like maybe most of them start from secondary school, but for those certain cases that they must wear contact lenses like before age of 12 years old, we need seek for cooperation from the parents. Parents plays a very important role.
And finally, do you have any advice for our viewers wearing contact lenses about perhaps the care? Perhaps people like perhaps me who are too busy, we just simply wash it really quickly. Do you have any advice?
Okay, for contact lens wearer, I would advise hygiene is very important. That's the most important thing. And make sure that you really rub your lenses and use a correct solution, as well as change your container if possible once a month, because that is the one that breeding a lot of virus.
And also another final, perhaps another advice is for those parents who actually have kids with the juvenile myopia. What is the first step that they should do? Okay,
those parents, especially those parents both with eyewear, I would advise take note on your kids on how they cope with their homework, because that you can actually tell sometime whether they have problem with the eyesight, because a lot of them, those young kids, they wouldn't complain to the parents,
because they're enjoying the iPad,
exactly, yes. bring them for eye examination before they even go to primary school. At the age of 6, they should get their eye tested. If let's say they have problem with the eye and they wear glasses, bring them for eye examination at least once a year. For those without eye problems, at least once in 2 years.
Well, thank you so much, Riz, for coming on our show, Bernama, today. For all the advice, and to all our viewers and even kids, please take some rest as well from your iPads, from reading your books or magazine. Just get some rest for your eyes. Well, that's all the time that we have for today's Bernama today. I am Shafiq Shuib. I'm signing off for today. We'll see you again tomorrow with interesting content as well as guests. Thank you for watching.